In your headlines, a 20-year-old was arrested and charged for unlawful possession of cocaine. Suspects were arrested for rape. And the UK government is easing mandatory COVID-19 restrictions. From the PTV Broadcasting Headquarters in Providenciales, your number one source for news, I'm Erica Penales delivering the latest from across the country this Monday, January 24th, 2022, right to your door. Newswatch starts now. In today's top story on your crime report, we gather that on Monday, January 17th, a 20-year-old male of Providenciales was arrested and charged for unlawful possession of cocaine, and suspects were arrested for rape. Kingsley Johnson, a 20-year-old male of Providenciales, was arrested and charged for unlawful possession of cocaine, which was found on his person whilst in police custody in relation to a separate investigation. The drugs amounted to 29 grams. From a press release, we've gathered that the defendant appeared in the magistrate's court on Thursday, January 20th, 2022, where he pleaded guilty to unlawful possession of controlled drug. He was fined $1,500 or 60 days in prison. The press release states that on the night of Saturday, January 15th, 2022, a female reported being raped by a man whom she believed to be a jitney driver. He picked her up from her place of work located in the Bight area and drove her to a nearby cemetery and subjected her to a sexual assault. On Monday, January 17th, 2022, there was a similar report made by a female leaving work from a hotel in Grace Bay. On Tuesday, January 18th, 2022, police conducted a targeted operation in the area and stop-checked a vehicle matching the description of the one used by the accused offender. The vehicle was seized for forensic examination, and the two male occupants were arrested. The investigation continues into these offenses. The police would encourage anyone that is the victim of a sexual assault to come forward and report it. They say, quote, "We appreciate how difficult this can be. However, please be assured that we have specially trained officers and medical staff here to deal with you sensitively and confidentially. It is important that you receive the required support and the dangerous sex offenders are taken off our streets." End quote. We're informed that investigations are underway for these incidents, and anyone with information about these or other crimes can call 911 or Crime Stoppers privately at 1-800-8477-TIPS. Information provided will be treated in the strictest of confidence. All Crime Stoppers calls are answered by Miami-Dade Police, and no one from the RTC IPF will know who called. It's time for a quick break. More News Watch when we return.
This is a reminder that all PTV service accounts are due on the first day of each month. Accounts should be brought up to date by the 28th of the month to avoid disruption in service. Payments may be made on our office at Stubbs Diamond Plaza, Providenciales, Mides Plaza, North Caicos, and Airport Road in South Caicos. Payments may also be made online using Scotiabank, CIBC First Caribbean Bank, and Royal Bank of Canada. Please allow 3 business days for online payments to be processed. We thank you for your cooperation.
Welcome back to Newswatch. Coming up is a press statement from the Minister of Health and Human Services made on the 20th of January 2022. We bring you the details. The press statement reads, "As the current situation progresses, my team and I will continue to communicate with you throughout various platforms to keep you well informed. The minister wishes to remind the general public to please continue to adhere to the health protocols. 1. Wear your mask or face covering properly, covering your nose and mouth. 2. Wash your hands frequently and sanitize them often. 3. Stay 6 feet apart from other persons. If you're vaccinated, please take your booster shot, and if you're not, please consider it, as the vaccine still has a significant efficacy against severe illness and hospitalizations for COVID-19 variants, including Omicron. We're informed that the Treatment Abroad program is once again experiencing challenges with finding ICU beds throughout the ministry's network of overseas providers, as those countries are experiencing their own waves of the Omicron variant. The fourth meeting of Cabinet for 2022 was held on Thursday, January 20th, virtually. At this meeting, Cabinet was given an update by the Ministry of Health and discussed further measures being taken to address and mitigate against the threat of coronavirus to the country, including A spike in positive cases, in particular among residents, B, hospital admissions and 6 recent deaths, C, progress on community testing, and progress on administration of booster shots. Cabinet approved an extension of the existing COVID-19 measures and protocols, which will come into effect on Monday, January 24th at 5 a.m. and remain in place until February 28th, 2022. A. Entry to churches or religious places of worship will be limited to 50% of their approved capacity. B. Weddings and funerals will be limited to only 50% of their approved capacity. C. Entry to restaurants, bars, nightclubs, and discotheques will be only allowed by patrons aged 16 or over who are fully vaccinated or have proof of negative COVID-19 tests within 24 hours. D. Social gatherings will only be allowed for patrons aged 16 or over who are fully vaccinated or have proof of negative COVID-19 tests within 24 hours. The statement informs that residents are encouraged to use e-certificates for entry to establishments. These must be presented along with valid photo ID. All businesses are responsible for verifying the required documents and must be able to present logbooks with the same for inspection by the compliance team. Business owners are subject to fines for failure to comply. We gather that exemption for unvaccinated minors below the age of 16 years from these requirements once accompanied by an adult. Any symptomatic patrons are advised to remain at home unless they're going to get tested. The only exceptions made were visitors or tourists residing at a resort attending bars or restaurants on site. Cabinet approved amendments to Arrival Passengers Travel Clearance Health Regulations 2020, which will come into effect from 5 a.m. on Friday the 28th of January and remain in place until February 28th, 2022. A. Visitors and unvaccinated residents aged 2 years and above returning to the TCI must present a negative PCR antigen test within 3 days of travel. B. Fully vaccinated residents returning to TCI are required to be tested within 2 days of arrival through TCIG testing sites at no cost. C. Unvaccinated minors of fully vaccinated residents are recommended to be tested within 2 days of arrival. Cabinet also approved an extension of the Cuban Brigade for an additional 6 months to assist the Turks and Caicos Islands with its COVID-19 response at the TCI hospitals and associated budget. Members also agreed on steps. Also of note, at the meeting of Cabinet on Wednesday, 12th January 2022, Cabinet noted and supported the introduction of genomic sequencing in the TCI to enhance national surveillance capacity of the COVID-19 virus. We follow up with part 2 of Honorable Edwin Aswood's address regarding Honorable Jamel Robinson's last interview. Here's more. Honorable Edwin Aswood expressed that he believes there were a number of things the Honorable Jamel Robinson failed to address in his last interview, which are important pieces of information which should be made known to the public.
I was hoping that during that interview, even though he highlighted some of the observations that the deputy leader and myself made, they were not allegations. I call them more observations that we were making. He had to address the general public and show them that they have control, or they know the direction where they're going, or they have a plan. I haven't heard of the plan to address this as yet. Where's the plan? Where's the plan for the Ministry of Finance? Other ministries and government, where's the plan if this virus continues to go on The Ministry of Finance must have a plan to help people, to get assistance to people. What are we going to do about travel? We need to have a plan in place. What if there is a more deadly strain that comes about, or the pandemic continues? We cannot just assume that it's over. We need to have a plan and have new things in place.
Honorable Aswood believes that there are new things which should be implemented as it relates to COVID-19 measures and mandates.
And one of the things that he said, that most of the regulations that are in place are things that he met. Well, I beg to differ. Like I said, we didn't have anything that said you must be vaccinated to enter a restaurant. That is something new. And the mandates have changed a number of times for the school children have been open and closed, and both for gatherings, social gatherings. They have changed that a number of times. So the recommendations that he said, the measures that are in place, and it was largely the same recommendations that they inherited. If I'm quoting him correctly, I think that's what he said. Largely the same recommendations and same measures that they inherit from me is what is in place. But I beg to differ. Many of them are different.
He expressed that he strongly believes that the issues that he and his team's deputy leader brought to attention in their last interview was in hopes of unifying rather than to polarize, as was suggested otherwise.
Anybody who know me in the whole country who have been following politics over the last 10, 12 years know that I'm not someone who preaches division. I always preach unity. Every time, even in the House of Assembly today, I'm always preaching unity. We can have different opinions, but we must be unified. And this is one of the things that we are trying to point out, that you cannot divide the people by giving them false information. That is what is dividing the people. And we are speaking out on behalf of the people, what our people are saying. And we're not speaking out on behalf of the PDM people or the PNP people or the independent people or the people of Salt Key or the people of South Caicos. We are speaking out on behalf of the people of Turks and Caicos Islands. So what we are doing, if you look at it, we are really trying to unify the people under one voice who are saying these things have to be looked at, something is wrong. So we're not preaching division, we're trying to unify the people.
Finally, Honorable concluded with encouraging residents to take the vaccine, also putting emphasis into not feeling forced to do so.
I just want the general public to not let their guard down. We have seen 5 deaths in about 7, 8 days. We have seen persons as young as 19 years old die, sadly. And so the pandemic is not over. There might be lulls, ebbs and flows, but we must be vigilant. And we must encourage our representatives and our ministers, members of cabinet, the government, to do more. Not because you question or demand more means that you're against them or you hate them. It is your duty to question. You cannot just blindly follow. We have to question. And we have to go away from when you're questioning something means that you're anti this person, anti that person. Look, we must be smart. If you are in a vulnerable group or elderly, please get your vaccinations. Please get your boosters. But I would say it shouldn't be forced on people. You must make your own choice. You know your body. And all I can say is with the vaccinations, you stand a better chance. But if you feel you know your body and you know your immune system and you want to take your charge, it is your right to make that decision.
Don't touch that remote. We'll be right back. Coming up next is your sports authority and weather forecast. Sister Craft Market Souvenir Shop. Come and visit us for your travel keepsakes, keychains, artwork, t-shirts, clothing, jewelry, and many more. We're located at the Lower Bight gas station in Providenciales, and you can contact us at 649-341-3070. That's 649-341-3070. Sister Craft Market and Souvenir Shop.
This is a reminder that all PTV service accounts are due on the first day of each month. Accounts should be brought up to date by the 28th of the month to avoid disruption in service. Payments may be made on our office at Stubbs Diamond Plaza, Providenciales, Mides Plaza, North Caicos, and Airport Road in South Caicos. Payments may also be made online using Scotiabank, CIBC First Caribbean Bank, and Royal Bank of Canada. Please allow 3 business days for online payments to be processed. We thank you for your cooperation.
Welcome back to News Watch. Here's the latest in your sports authority and weather forecast.
December was a busy month for the kids at the Provo Aquatics Club. Jaden Davis from the Turks and Caicos competed in the 2021 Holiday Championships held in Sunrise, Florida on December 18th and 19th. It seems like the only thing that Jaden Davis is better at than swimming is winning. He picked up gold at the Piranhas Turkey Classic in Pompano Beach, winning the 50-yard butterfly in 27.85 seconds. Jaden lowered that time to 26.90 seconds to win his heat in the preliminary round of the Holiday Championships. In the finals, he won gold with a time of 27.19 seconds. He didn't stop there. Jaden also won the 100-yard butterfly in a time of 101.88 seconds, reducing his time from 102.70 seconds in the preliminary round. He ended his 2021 season strong, taking home silver in the finals of the 50-yard freestyle with a time of 25.24 seconds. He repeated his performance in the 100-yard freestyle, winning the silver medal with a time of 55.33 seconds, improving on his time in the preliminary round. Here's how he felt about his recent performance.
I can say I just felt good. I did my best, and I came out with some medals, well, 4 to be exact, and yeah, that's about it for me.
For your Sports Authority, I'm Ali Carvey.
Here's your weather forecast for January 25th, 2022. For the nation's capital, Grand Turk, on Tuesday, mostly sunny skies, high 79, low 74, winds west-northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. For South Caicos on Tuesday, mostly sunny skies, high 79, low 74, winds west-northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. For North and Middle Caicos on Tuesday, mostly sunny skies, high 81, low 70, winds west-northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. For Parrot and Pine Key on Tuesday, mostly sunny skies, high 79, low 71, winds west-northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And on Providenciales on Tuesday, mostly sunny skies, high 79, low 71, winds west-northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Now for your sunrise and sunset. Sunrise 6:30 a.m., sunset 5:34 p.m., and for your high tides and low tides, high tides 12:25 a.m., 12:42 p.m., and for your low tides 6:45 a.m., 6:51 p.m. And that's it for your weather forecast. We'll be right back with more News Watch.
Here at People's Television, we're more than just your leading news and entertainment services. We are
spreading the gospel.
We are breaking barriers.
We are preserving the culture. Each one, teach one.
We are committed to excellence.
We're creating change.
We are creating memories.
We are the future! I am PTV.
I am PTV. I am PTV.
I am PTV.
We are PTV.
We are continuing the legacy. We are PTV.
Welcome back to Newswatch. The UK government is easing mandatory COVID-19 restrictions. UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson says that they will trust the judgment of the British public. Alik Harvey brings you the latest.
Some good news for those of you planning a trip to the United Kingdom in the near future. Last Wednesday, Prime Minister of the United Kingdom Boris Johnson confirmed that the country would be relaxing Plan B measures introduced in England on December 13, 2021. Officially, they are expected to expire on January 26, 2022.
From now on, the government is no longer asking people to work from home. And people should now speak to their employers about arrangements for returning to the office. And having looked at the data carefully, the Cabinet concluded that once regulations lapse, the government will no longer mandate the wearing of face masks anywhere.
The decision was attributed to their booster campaign by the Prime Minister. Stats project that 64% of people aged 12 and over in the United Kingdom have received booster shots. Moving back to Plan A repeals Plan B measures such as compulsory face masks in public venues.
We will no longer require face masks in classrooms, and the Department for Education will shortly remove national guidance on their use in communal areas.
The news comes as many countries worldwide, including our own Turks and Caicos government, seek to extend COVID-19 restrictions over Omicron concerns. Boris Johnson confirmed the intention to end self-isolation rules for people with coronavirus within just a few months, March 24th to be exact. But for now, with Plan A, the guidance with self-isolation remains intact.
In the country at large, we will continue to suggest the use of face coverings in enclosed or crowded spaces, particularly when you come into contact with people you don't normally meet. But we will trust the judgment of the British people and no longer criminalise anyone who chooses not to wear one.
However, the United Kingdom is not out of the woods just yet. According to latest daily figures, they recorded a further 88,447 coronavirus cases and 56 deaths. Reporting for PTV Newswatch, I'm Alik Harvey.
That brings us to the end of this edition of The Real News. I hate to leave you so soon, but of course, you can join us right back here every weekday at 6:30 p.m. and tap into our social media platforms at www.ptv8tci.com. I'm Erica Penales, keeping you informed, updated, and affiliated. Until next time.